Hi there movie fans, and welcome to another edition of Movies. Today we have chosen to accept an undertaking to review Tom Cruise's last ride as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The chance of a less than spectacular review, however, highly probable. As a summer 2025 blockbuster, it's still just about doing the rounds in cinemas now, so if you do get a chance to watch on the largest screen possible, we urge you to do so as the movie unfolds on the grandest scale. By all means wait for a streaming release, but the MI franchise is just made for IMAX. After 7 previous missions, you'll know the premise by now. Rogue agent Ethan Hunt and his impossible mission force, comprising techies Luther, Ving Rhames and Benji, Simon Pegg, and now joined by ace pickpocket Grace, played by Hayley Atwell, look to take down mysterious baddie Gabrielle S.A. Morales, who is bent on ending humanity by unleashing the full destructive power of AI. At least, I think that's the premise. Because who is interested in plots when we really only turn up to see Tom Cruise in the most spectacular stunts yet, so we can rush home to Google whether he really did that, and if so, how. And yet, the film was helmed by Christopher McQuarrie, who directed the last 4 MIs, so you think he'd know a thing or two about MI plots by now. And of course he gets to conclude the story launched in the last MI, Dead Reckoning, as well, most likely, as the entire franchise itself. So, all thriller, no filler, right? Now, I love a Tom Cruise movie. It's a real event. He is our last true Hollywood movie star in its old-fashioned sense. I'm glad I went to see his last outing here. It's a great end to an exceptional franchise and ticks all the right boxes. Thrills, spills, drama, humour, and of course stunts. Here though is the but. Firstly, it's not quite as action-packed as we've come to expect by MI's own high standards, largely due to a decision to weave lots of little throwbacks to earlier MIs in a bid to wrap up the movie together in a nice neat little bow. Result, far too much exposition and not enough action. And some of the diversions feel entirely contrived, like the parentage of FBI agent Jasper Briggs, again played by Shea Whigham, or the link up with CIA analyst William Donlow, whose bowels are presumably recovered from the first MI back in 1996, which just eats up screen time a leaner script would have made better use of with more stunts. And so to the stunts. Maybe we've got used to Tom Cruise's ability to defy gravity, but I'm perhaps not the only one to have come out of the cinema feeling ever so slightly underwhelmed by the stunts in Final Reckoning. However good is the underwater sequence in the downed Russian sub, or the biplane fight at the end of the movie, they somehow lack the tension and heart-in-mouth moment that has characterised previous stunts in other MIs, like the helicopter fight in MI6, or the climb on the Burj Khalifa in Ghost Protocol, or the rope drop in the first MI, or, well, you get the drift. Maybe it's because, well, whisper it, but it finally looks like gravity isn't the only thing the cruiser can't defy. Age also appears to be catching up with TC, and he's suffered 1-2 explosions too many. Who can really blame him if nowadays his knees are beginning to creak as he climbs out of bed each morning? Tom, welcome to our world. You're human after all. Like many a streaming series, The Final Reckoning kind of fails to deliver on the build-up from the previous episode. As is often the case, it is the penultimate instalment that turns up the tension to the max, only to see it ebb away in the warm down in the concluding episode. And that is no less true in the case of MI8, where the previous movie, Dead Reckoning, makes a case for the best MI of them all, although with its tight script, plenty of light relief and no less than 3 awesome stunt sequences, car chase, bike jump, train wreck, that was always going to be the hardest act to follow. Despite all these niggles, however, which are born only out of a sense of entitlement to the kind of high-octane action we've become accustomed to in the MI universe, we urge you to go to see this movie in the cinemas now while you still can. You won't be disappointed, and if you are, well, it won't be by much. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the review. If you'd like to comment below, we will respond. Otherwise, do please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to more movie reviews soon.